I make a video like this every few months, but I thought I would explain again who I am and what I am doing. I am a Therian. I believe that my soul is an animal soul. I know and I have a fundamental understanding that I am overall human. I just enjoy connecting to my animal identity. I experience something called species dysphoria. Keep in mind, dysphoria is not trans-exclusive, nor is Theriananthropy, or being a Therian, a gender identity. It is a psychological/spiritual identity that affects my life and my day-to-day immensely. The dysphoria causes me to feel I'm in the wrong body, which is why I always wear this mask in my ears, as well as do other things to alleviate the stress that I feel. I make these videos for other Therians to know it's okay to express themselves, and I try to normalize this harmless identity. It's not the same as being a furry. Hope this clears some things up.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Are we living in a crazy world? Okay, it's a crazy world out here that seems to get crazier and crazier and crazier. And the peak of the lunacy is not the people who are trans speciesism, right? I'm not sure that's what you call it. Trans something, right? No, it's actually really the doctors, okay, who go along with this stuff, okay? And we got to talk about a doctor who is famous on TikTok. That is a pediatrician, and she decided to post a TikTok in which she basically promotes puberty blockers to children as if they are 100% completely harmless. And I want to talk about that. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out some of my merch, my donkeypox shirts, the disease that's affecting America, or my hashtag no days off / hard work patriotic t-shirts, or my MAGA Hub shirts. There are plenty of cool merch for you guys to check out at my website, gforemanbcp.com. You can get 20% off using discount code gforemanbcp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip of this doctor talking about puberty blockers for kids as if they are harmless. Take a look.
Puberty blockers are used once puberty has started, but not when you're too far along. And what they do is they just pause your puberty where it's at. And that gives you time to further explore your gender identity without the extra pressure of developing in a gender in which you might not feel comfortable. And then if you continue those puberty blockers long enough, then you can start replacement therapy with the gender identity hormone of your choice when you reach usually around 15 or so, or once you've been on that puberty blocker for at least a couple of years. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so I want y'all to understand, this doctor, okay, claims to be a pediatrician, a children's doctor, and she has an Instagram where all she does is talk to, I presume to be kids. All she talks about is sex, okay? And I'm not talking about the basic science of sex, right? She goes into details about how to do all types of stuff that I think is beyond the basics, right? That people need to know. Again, very weird stuff. But with that being said, it should be no surprise that she's totally fine with pushing puberty blockers on children as if they have no side effects whatsoever. Oh no, don't worry. It's a temporary pause, right? Don't worry about the potential side effects like osteoporosis, mood swings, seizures, cognitive development, and potentially being sterilized, which could be a likely outcome if you do what this doctor is essentially suggesting here, which is transitioning, starting with puberty blockers and then going on gender affirming hormones like testosterone or estrogen. But of course, being an alleged medical professional, a pediatrician, okay, a doctor for children, she knows very well what the negative effects of taking these puberty blockers are, okay? Because behind closed doors, right, they're having conversations like this conversation that I'm going to show you guys right now that comes from the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, in which the president of that association openly admits and talks about the negative consequences of taking some of these puberty blockers, including but not limited to children never being able to experience an orgasm when they become adults in their sexual lives. Take a listen.
The second is was an observation that I had that every single child who was, or adolescent who was truly blocked at Tanner stage 2 has never experienced orgasm. I mean, it's really about zero. These are of course, these are just assigned male at birth, so trans feminine. And it's because they never in their lives are exposed to testosterone. That doesn't change. That doesn't change. So blockers prevent the rise of testosterone, and they don't really go on testosterone at or around surgery or into adulthood. And so we don't know. They're going to have this sensation. There's no question about that. But are they going to be able to achieve sexual satisfaction? It's important in relationships. And I know that from my work with female genital mutilation survivors, that the lack of being able to be intimate with a partner is very important. And so this is what really raised the red flag for me, is to say, look, we need to have our eyes open about it. I think it's been beneficial talking about it. I know Joe and many others have reported to me, they've changed their approach a little bit in their informed consent models, and that we're talking about masturbation now. We're talking about, okay, that's an area of the body that's got very dysphoric for you, but you know what? It's all a penis is just a large clitoris. I mean, it's all the same material. It really is. So use it for the pleasurable purposes, partially that it was intended, and we'll see what happens. But these are to be answered questions. So can we avoid puberty and get good adult results? And secondly, how do we assure someone that they're going to be able to be sexually responsive? Do we remove the blockers during the course of their adolescence and let a little bit of puberty come back? Do we delay it a little bit, maybe into Tanner's 3 or 4, maybe before they have their first orgasms? Maybe.
Wow. I mean, listen to those so-called medical professionals talk about children as if they are experiments. Oh, should we delay it to this, to that? Let them do this? Like, bro, what? Like, bro, we're talking about children here. You're experimenting on them with drugs to try to see if, can we, help them, still have the ability to experience an orgasm or whatever. And it's like, bruh, if you never gave them the drugs in the first place, they would still be able to do that. Okay? But again, the sad part here, guys, is when adults, people that are indoctrinated into this ideology, they're asked about this, they're presented with the facts about these puberty blockers. For whatever reason, they don't seem to care about these potential side effects that kids probably don't understand.
Fertile as well, and you don't even know it. Yep. If you start a puberty blocker before standard stage 2, you're going to be infertile, and you'll never be able to have an orgasm.
So that's more important. That's the most important thing. Who needs an orgasm? All right, I'm going to go and see my transgender child and bring them.
Thanks for talking with me.
Yeah, so children losing a loss of bodily function is something to laugh at, okay? That is how far gone a lot of these people on the left are that, buy into this stuff. But again, what really blows my mind the most are these doctors who know this stuff. They know it, but yet they choose to participate in this anyways because they don't want to be called bigots. We already know what it is. That, and there's a financial incentive, right? Putting people on puberty blockers costs money. Get them on that, then you get them on the hormones, then you get them, into surgery. You have a lifetime science experiment that you can just rake in a dough off of, right? Upwards of $100,000 to $200,000 lifetime value, if not more, okay? If not more. Again, it's absolutely sickening stuff. Especially if you believe that children can consent to this. How can a child consent to putting drugs in their bodies that may or may not inhibit their ability to experience an orgasm when they've never experienced one? Right? Just imagine being a child, like one of life's greatest gifts, right? Okay, one of the greatest feelings you can have in life. You're not going to be able to experience it because a parent or a doctor told you as a 12-year-old that, you are not in the right body. You're the opposite gender because you believe that, okay? Because you believe that as an 11, 12-year-old, we need to give you these drugs and eventually operate on you. But hey, you're not going to be able to experience pleasure, right? Something you've never experienced before that you're supposed to experience as an adult, you're not going to be able to experience it. How can a child consent to that? How can a child have a fully informed opinion to say whether or not they should go through that procedure. It's not possible. It's not possible at all. And this is why it's so sick when you see these doctors come out here and they talk about this stuff and they push this stuff and never mention the side effects. I mean, it's already bad enough that they're pushing it. What makes it worse, they don't even throw the side effects in there. Guys, anytime you've ever seen a pharmaceutical ad on TV, right, they always tell you why it's great. And then at the end, they'll do a little 10-second blurb and tell you why it's bad. Okay? You never hear that when these doctors are talking about puberty blockers, right? They just pretend like, hey, you know, there's no negative side effect. It just pauses puberty. As if that sounds natural. As if that sounds right. As if that sounds like something that won't have any unintended consequences that a child might not understand. Again, these doctors are worse than the teachers that were pushing critical race theory and this ideology in schools, because these doctors know better, bruh. You know better. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.